Hey YouTube, hope everybody's doing good. Sendar here. Had a couple comments and PMs over the time I've been doing videos. If I could, show more into how I do my node setup, or how to even do nodes and workers. So I've been putting it off because I thought it would take a really long time, and I've come to a solution where I'm just going to do maybe parts each segment of the node network, and that way we can keep shorter videos. And if all the cooking ones, then you can skip that one and go on to like all the alchemy ones. So today I'll do all the cooking ones. First thing I want to do here is pull up the map. I'll zoom out a bit here. If you're new to Black Desert, this game is huge, and there's more expansions coming with 2 more areas. But even for now, with my 300 contribution, I can only fill up part of the map, and there's so much more map. So even if you get up to 350, 400 contribution, that's probably how much it would take to fill up everything. So you will have to be picky. One of the things I like to do here is make sure you click production nodes. That way it's going to make this a lot easier to see. So here's my current node setup. I'm going to start with cooking today. So one of the most important things, of course, is cereals. These are for beer. You can also grind each of these materials into flour and then produce it further into dough. So your beer, you can actually just spam beer forever and become #1 in cooking if you wanted to. And the only limitation on that would be your base materials. A lot of these aren't showing up in the marketplace anymore. So you have the option here either to set these nodes up and put workers on them to produce it for yourself, to raise your cooking, and then power level your contribution. I did do a video on that too, you can check out. But for now, any of these items will also instantly sell in the marketplace anytime. A lot of people neglect to realize that as you're sending your workers out, they actually level, and then you can sell them for more. And they also collect seals when gathering, which can be sold for, or turned in for items that you can sell in the marketplace. So there is profit to be made, even if you're just collecting this stuff and selling it. For all these serial nodes, luck doesn't matter at all. So you can actually use any worker you want, preferably goblins, as long as you can log in pretty often, multiple times a day, to feed them beer, because they do require beer a little more often than giants. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so for wheat, we have Costa Farm, Morietti Plantation, and Northern Wheat Plantation. I'll clear these off. Most of these nodes I'm going to go through today are in the beginning areas, so easy to get for low contribution people. I pretty much skipped Valencia, just because it's really expensive in contribution points. There are some great items over here, and I'll probably do something on that a little later. Maybe when I have another 100 contribution or so. But let's get started here on wheat. Costa Farm. Wheat's good because it actually comes in larger amounts than, say, potatoes, generally. So your first one, Costa Farm, there's going to be a wheat guy up here. Moretti Plantation, just to the right of it, right here. Most of the nodes in these starting areas, for right now I'm near Heidel, which is down from the starting area of Alvia and Velia. Pretty low contribution points, pretty easy to get. Ideally, you want to send workers from the closest possible city, so you'll want to use workers out of Heidel to get these two. It's just faster, so they can run back and forth, and you'll get more over time. The third area for wheat, down by Calpheon, just northeast, Northern Wheat Plantation. And you'll notice right here is wheat. Again, you want to do a worker close by. Next up, we have barley. This is also in the Northern Plantation. This Northern Wheat Plantation is actually really good, because you've got 3 on here. So here would be barley. Again, these are all things you can use to make beer. Typically, I prefer goblins on these just because they're so much faster and produce more seals. Next up, potatoes. And we have quite a bit of these. Most of these are located right near the beginning of the game, so new players will be able to pick these up really quick. Actually, it's probably one of the first things you want to set up in your network. Get those potatoes coming in. We've got Barley, potato farm. Logia, potato farm. Finto, which is just northeast of Valencia. So those are the 3 potato, all right around here by Valencia. And of course the last one, sweet potatoes. That, I believe, is up here. So this is a little further out. It's going to cost you a little more to get to. So you can probably skip this one, but sweet potatoes, when you have a lot of contribution, you know, you can pick up whatever you want. Let me reset my workers here so we can see where they are. Alright. So next up we've got corn. And that's over here near the beginning of the game as well. Tuscany Farm. You'll see you have 2 corn here. The other thing I really like about this place, picking up this node, is if you look at this little house, it actually has lodging for 2 more workers. If you've been playing, you probably noticed that you need tons of lodging and you run out pretty quickly. These outside nodes actually contribute to the main town near them, so the lodging for 2 people here actually adds 2 workers to Valencia for me. And you can see I've got all the lodging in here. Alright, so let's go to the next here. The next for cooking would be vegetables. A lot of things you can make with this. Alright, so we're back to northern wheat plantation over here by Calpheon again. With the paprika. For pumpkins, Alejandro and Costa. Near Heidel. We got Alejandro pumpkins. And Costa for pumpkins. I'm currently really overloaded on pumpkins, so I don't have anybody working these right now. But it's definitely an option if you want to do anything using vegetables. And let's see, Whale Farm for olives. That is up here. So far we got vegetables and fruit. Let's move on to honey. Alejandro Farm, 2 of them. Just outside of Heidel here. Looks like we only have 1. Alright, cooking honey, Alejandro. Honey is super important for one of my favorite in the game items to make for cooking. Honey wine. Does great on the Imperial. Super easy to make. The essence of liqueur, all you need is a fruit. I did a video recently where you can get the fruit from an NPC or make it yourself. If you do want to make the fruit yourself, we're right up here at Costa Farm. Costa Farm is grapes. Again, really close to Alvia. Another major cooking ingredient that you'll want to get workers started on this as soon as possible is eggs. Chicken meat is also a cooking product, but it's not really used in anything super easy to spam out or power level with. But the eggs you're definitely going to want, and the sooner you get started on this, the better. You'll notice on this, and I'll post a link to this website that shows where all these nodes are. But you'll notice here that material 1 is chicken meat and material 2 is egg. So what that means is everyone that goes there is going to get the chicken meat. The egg is the rare item, and for rare items, they're based on your worker luck. And you'll probably notice, if you look at your workers, you'll see this guy has luck 22, and the goblin has 11.19. Humans are the luckiest of all your workers, so whenever you have a node like eggs, which is a rare proc from chicken meat, you're going to want to use humans, because you'll get tons more of the rare. Some people argue that if you use a super fast goblin, it works out to be the same, and that could be true, but generally you want to use humans. And when I get into another video here going into the excavation sites, humans are going to be huge. But for eggs, I've always used humans, more or less. So we've got two of these, Barley Farm and Finto. Again, both of these are just outside of Valencia. We've got Finto with the chicken meat. And Barley, which I believe is down here. I'm trying to remember where all these are. And there we have the chicken meat. You'll notice a lot of these that I've mentioned today for cooking, you can do just in this starting area. You can get a pretty good handle on that pretty soon after starting this game. And then slowly move down to Heidel. And then slowly move over to Calpheon. You'll want all these linked anyway, especially maybe a port even later on. So slowly pick up these potato nodes. I would pick up those first. Maybe some eggs, corn, any of the cereals. The grape for fruit. And I'll actually post a link here so you can find all this stuff. But once you get this basic setup, you can either sell this stuff or use it for cooking. I would recommend just saving it for cooking, because if you do power level cook or just, you know, mass produce cooking, you're going to get the hand-in items or the secondary items to turn in for contribution to really build up your network. Let's see if I can zoom out here. So this is what I'm looking at now. I do plan to expand this a lot. I've been saving up the hand-ins for contribution. I'm going to be optimizing this a little more. And that's another major way to save contribution points, is to try to use the least possible to get to where you want. But then again, when you have 300, 350 contribution, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And the passive income just keeps increasing the more workers you have, both from seals, either reselling workers, or the items they get. So keep building your network. I will be doing a couple more parts of this. Node setups for different alchemy, excavation, timber. So keep an eye out for those. Subscribe and you'll get a notification when those pop up. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helps you out. If you've got any questions, just post a comment or send me a message. And thanks a lot for watching.